Here with Colin Quinn, and we're going to start off with, you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, I did.
What was it like growing up in Brooklyn?
It was a different Brooklyn. I grew up in Park Slope, which now, as you know, looks like a Swiss village. The advantage of growing up then was that you had fun. You were free to do whatever you want. You were free.
Right.
You know? And just kind of, it was fun being a kid. You didn't have to, you just walk around all day and it was fun, you know? The disadvantages were, you know, if you were a screw up like me, you didn't develop very good disciplinary habits. I was a class clown. I mean, if anybody that grew up with me will tell you, I peaked at 14, humor-wise too. I run into people in the old days who go, oh yeah, you're a comedian. But you were funny when you were 14. We were lucky, we were the last of stickball and, you know, stoop ball and all that stuff. We play that where you really, you know, it's like, there's nothing to do, but you have a ball, you just throw it against the stoop and, you know, nobody. So we were lucky we had those little games, you know.
So Spalding or Pensy Pinky?
Spalding, before the Pensy Pinky. The Pensy Pinky infuriates me to this day. Well, I used to have a routine in my act about how sports builds character. Yeah, if you're good. For the 5% that are good, it builds character. For the other 95%, it just reinforces the trauma and evil and gang mentality of the world. Junior high school was wild, you know. And I remember my first day in school, we're sitting in the homeroom, the kid walks into class, the homeroom teacher's there, drops him, walks out. I was like, oh my God, what am I in prison? I felt like I was in prison. If you do this kind of show and you interview comedians, you'll notice there's never a pause. We talk, we never stop talking.
I catch myself doing this. It's so embarrassing. I don't let anybody even get a word in sometimes. And it's like the conversation's over and I feel bad. But it's over and it's like...
Why? You could be the interviewer that doesn't let people talk. He just talks. Nobody's done that.
I just need like the cutout.
I feel like great comedy comes from everywhere. You know what I mean? It's so funny because I feel like when people try to say like, oh, it's got to be this or it's got to be edgy. It's like, I don't even know what that means. Authentic funny is funny. I was always a comedian's comedian, by which I mean the audience. If I had to rely on the audience for my career, I would have been starved to death years ago. But the comedians always loved me, you know. It's just the way it was. I don't know why, just the way it is. I really want people to hear what I have to say on what goes on in this world. But I know if it's not funny, I'm not having fun and they're not having fun. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear my opinion. The only possible reason you would have to hear my opinion is if I can make you laugh. And all the new comedians, you see all these new comedians coming in the last 10 years. Because you figure, we're the comedians now, and we'll just kind of go, no, these people have, where's this new material? You think it's all done, and they're coming up with new stuff. You're like, I better keep working, because they're not playing games. They want it too, and they want it, and they, you know, it's their turn. So if you want to stay in this game, you better keep working. You know, if you want to be funny, you know.
What was the high point of your professional career? What would you know, for whatever reason? I mean, you could, you know,
this interview.
Look at it. Now there's some bullshit.
The first time I was on Saturday Night Live doing The Lion was like a detox lion.
Right.
You know, I got to mention Fresh Pond Road Posse on. Yeah. You know, so I mean, there was little moments like that. Then you got Long Story Short was great. You know, I mean, doing that, filming that special, and getting to put out what I, you know, like representing what I think my comedy is. A Tough Crowd was my baby. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, that was definitely a high point. That was definitely, you know, that was exactly the show that I would want to do, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't believe that that's still not going.
Yeah, I think it was one of those shows that was like, you know, like a lot of shows like, oh, the audience doesn't like it, but we get it. But I feel like that was the other way around.
What is your New York?
My New York is a memory of what New York used to be like.
Yeah.
My New York does not exist. Coming to this New York is like, it's like going to Epcot Center and saying, hey, do you love Paris? It's a whole different ballgame. You could make an argument for any side of anything, and it would be a legitimate one. Like, oh, kids are more socially awkward now. Who knows? I don't know.
No,
I don't think. Are they really socially awkward? I think any kid that's sending naked pictures of themselves at 13 is not socially awkward at all. In fact, I'd say they're quite socially advanced and sophisticated.